So this is the third time I've tried to do this introduction to this channel. The first time the movie was completely fuzzy, don't know why. Second time my mother is screaming at my dog and it was just not good. So anyways, hi, I'm Amanda. Amanda 2001 is my other channel. There will be a link in the sidebar if you're a beauty guru, beauty makeup person. I have a beauty makeup channel. So anyways, this is me and Star Kisser 7, which is, her name is Amanda as well. So it's Amanda and Amanda. So this is just kind of a side channel we wanted to do based on one of our loves, Twilight. Because we, you know, it's like a pop culture phenomenon. So I kind of thought that the best way to kind of start the channel off would be just to introduce myself, let you know a little bit more about me, where I'm from, whatever you want to know. So I am from the South, if you can't tell by my accent. But anyway, I say that a lot. I don't really understand why, but, and I was fixing to say it again. On to the point. I figured the best way to start would just be kind of just tell you how I heard about Twilight, how I got into it, and just kind of just ramble on about the first movie, because it is what it is. So here we go. I'm just gonna ramble on and talk. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Anyway, I first heard about Twilight when last year on August 2nd, and I remember the date because it's when I saw Good Charlotte. I love Good Charlotte. It's my favorite I say my favorite TV show, my favorite band of all time. So I was sitting there in line, and I'm just looking around, you know, meeting people in line. That's something I do at concerts a lot. I get to know people in concert lines, because 9 times out of 10 they're either going to be the people beside you or behind you in the show, so you kind of want to make friends. Anyway, so I'm looking around and everyone is reading this book called Breaking Dawn, and I'm like looking around, and I'm looking at my sister, and I was like, Erin, it's kind of strange, like there's like 7 people reading this book. And she's like, well, maybe it's just a good book. So the girls behind us, one was reading Eclipse, the other was reading Breaking Dawn, and I was like, and I noticed they were by the same author, so I was like, and I knew them from a previous Good Charlotte show. We had seen Good Charlotte together before, so I was looking, and I said, Megan, like, why is everyone reading this book? And she goes, you don't know? And I'm like, no. And she goes, it's the last Twilight book. And I was like, Twilight what? You know, what is Twilight? I had never heard of it. Never. So I took my sister aside. I was like, you never, you know, what's this book about? And Megan goes, it's about a girl that basically, she goes, I don't want to ruin it for you, but basically it's about a girl who falls in love with a vampire. I was like, oh, okay, cool. So I was like really obsessed with Buffy, and I just dropped my tweezers on the floor. I was obsessed with Buffy for the longest time. And those of you who like are Buffy people, you know it's like a cult. It's like Twilight, but much bigger. Actually, I think Twilight might be bigger than Buffy. But anyway, long story short, back on point here, Amanda. So I was like, well, okay, you know, I liked Buffy. You know, is it kind of the same premise? And she's like, no, it's completely different. The vampires are completely different than any other vampire that you've ever read about. And I was like, oh, really? Like, you know, how are they different? And she goes, I really don't want to ruin it for you. She said, just trust me. Go buy the book, read it, you'll love it. And I'm like, okay. So when I got home that night, you know, just curiosity, I Wikipedia'd it, the series, and it kind of sounded like something I would enjoy. So I said, okay, well, oh, my nose itches, I'm sorry. So I went to Walmart with my sister, with Erin, and we're looking, and the only 2 they had in paperback were New Moon and Twilight. So I was like, okay, and they were like $9 a piece. So I was like, okay, well, I'll buy them, and if they suck, you know, I can always give them to our cousin or whatever she likes to read. So I bought them, Literally within 2 weeks I had read all 4 books. I could not put them down, and I don't understand why. And it's like hard because you sit there and I'm like, I read New Moon in 3 days. Kid you not. I stayed up 24 hours and read this book. And it wasn't like I read it all 24 hours. I read, you know, throughout the period of the whole day. And it wasn't that I said, okay, I have to finish this book tonight. I have to. I'm staying up and reading this book. I just lost time because I'm sitting there and you get so immersed in these characters that you're like, what's happening next? What's gonna happen next? What? Hold on. Again with the interruption. God. Anyway, so I'm sitting there and I'm like chomping at the bit, wanting to know what's going to happen. But then I'm like pissed because I'm like, oh my God, will you just grab her and kiss her and do it already? I'm like, I'm serious. I'm like, And then after it was all over, I was kind of sad because I was like, okay, no more Bella and Edward, no more Bella and Edward. I'm upset. So, then, like, after I read all the books, I kind of started looking into the movie. And I was like, okay, you know, and I'm just going to say it right now. I called Rob Pattinson was hot way back in Harry Potter. So all you people that start now thinking he's all hot because he's Mr. Edward Cullen, no, he was hot when he was Cedric Diggory. Hello. I called Cedric Diggory. Sorry, diva moment there. And I was really kind of excited because it's different when you see it after you've read the book. Because I was always kind of, you know, like a book to movie fan, sort of. But I kind of did it backwards. Like with The Notebook and A Walk to Remember, I saw the movies before I read the book. And then I had never read a Harry Potter book until Order of the Phoenix, because I said, okay, I'm going to read the book and then see the movie and see if it's different. And it's completely different. I'm currently trying to finish Half-Blood Prince because I really want to finish it before the movie comes out, but I find myself busy with everything else. So my best friend calls me one day and she said, there's this movie I want you to go see with me. And I'm like, okay. And she said, it's called Twilight. And I said, okay, I totally know about it. It's the best thing ever. She goes, oh my God, I didn't know you knew about it. And I'm like, yeah. So we had got our tickets and we got to the theater that night. Our showing was at 7 and I told her we need to get there at 6. She's one of those people that never wants to be early for anything because she doesn't see the point in waiting. So I told her, I said, trust. It's a huge movie. We need to be there early because I need to get good seats because I'm short and I'm not gonna be like way in the front, you know, like this. I mean, I probably would have if that's the only seats they had left, but I didn't want to do that. So, we got there at 6 and we were like looking around and there was all these girls in like their little Twilight shirts and stuff, and I've never been like that girl, to wear that to like a thing. You know, like when I go to a concert, I never wear the band shirt that I'm going to go see, but anyway, it's just a rule that I have. It's like an unsaid rule. So we get there, and I'm not gonna lie, I wore my Cullen crest, my Rosalie necklace, which I love, and I'm so glad I found it today. I had not been able to find it. And literally the entire time we were sitting there and we were like this. It's hilarious. So I had more like funny stories in this one, in the intro video, the first one I did, but it's kind of fuzzy, so I'll probably rework them in somehow. But anyway, so we saw Twilight in the movie theater 3 times, and I had never, like, when we left the first night, we got to the car and we just totally wigged out. We were like, oh my God, we had been waiting for that movie for months, and it was so not what we expected, but still good at the same time. We were like, so I am so excited for New Moon. So excited for New Moon. The only thing I have to say, F on whoever did Jasper this movie, because his hair is nasty. Number one, I understand Jasper is supposed to be like in conflict with himself because he wants to kill Bella, and that's why he has like the pained look on his face and stuff like that, because he's constantly trying to hold back from killing people. But damn, so is Edward, and he still looks fine. Come on. And like, whatever. I just don't understand why they won't let Jackson just be Jackson, you know, like with his hair. Like, I understand that Jasper's blonde and all that stuff, but get him a better wig, people. Come on, you got Rosalie and Alice better wigs this movie. You can get him a better one. So I don't really want to go too far over. I'm at 10 minutes and 15 seconds now, and I probably could ramble on for another hour about Twilight if I really wanted to. But so I guess I'll end that as the introduction. Stay tuned for more Twilight upcomings and reactions and news or whatever. So I'll talk to you guys later. Expect Amanda's intro soon if her camera will work for her. So talk to you guys later. Bye.